story begins with a silence so deep it swallows light. A silence older than the cosmos, older than the first heartbeat of creation. And through that silence, something moves, something hungry. The universe calls him many names, but only one sends fear through galaxies. Galactus. He drifts through the void like a living storm. Planets tremble when his shadow touches their suns. Civilizations collapse into panic the moment his presence brushes their minds. But today, something is different. The hunger inside him is no longer a whisper. It is a roar, tearing at his core. A hunger not for planets, but for answers. And as the story begins, let me invite you deeper. Subscribe to the channel so we can explore the cosmic truths that Marvel hides between its stars. Galactus stops near the edge of the Andromeda cluster. The power cosmic burns around him in violet storms. Yet even with all that power, his thoughts are uneasy. Something is missing. Something that should not be missing. Galactus is not just hungry for worlds. He is part of the cosmic balance. A force designed to prune, shape, and guide universal evolution. But now the balance feels broken. He senses a distortion, like a ripple inside the fabric of existence itself. And only one being can cause such a ripple. One entity who isn't bound by time, space, or form. One who is the universe. Eternity. But eternity is silent. Too silent. Galactus realizes that the cosmic entity whose very breath shapes galaxies has not spoken in eons. That should be impossible. Eternity's voice is the pulse of all that lives. If the pulse is quiet, something is terribly wrong. Galactus tears through hyperspace toward the Hall of Cosmic Echoes, the place where the thoughts of fundamental beings drift like eternal winds. Normally, eternity's presence would be overwhelming here. Light bending, time folding, the sensation of every life happening at once. But the hall is empty, cold, hollow. The void around Galactus vibrates with a single message. Eternity is missing. A being who embodies the entire universe cannot simply vanish, unless something is trying to take its place. Galactus summons the last echo of the Watcher, demanding answers. The echo flickers, broken, as if damaged by forces greater than creation. Its voice stutters, a shadow rising, a force older than the universe, older than me, older even than you. Galactus narrows his blazing eyes. Older than him? Impossible. He was once the last survivor of a previous reality, born before the Big Bang, forged into cosmic divinity. Nothing older should exist, unless something survived the collapse of his universe too. Something that chose not to guide or protect, but to consume. The first tremor hits him. A vibration so powerful it snaps the stars around him like glass. The void distorts, reality flickers, and from the distortion, a colossal silhouette unfolds across the sky, stretching from one edge of existence to the other. Galactus feels pressure for the first time in billions of years. A pressure not of gravity, but of presence. A voice booms through the cosmos, not loud, just absolute. Galactus, you trespass on the path of the eternal mind. Galactus steadies himself. His cosmic aura blazes. He answers with a voice that shakes black holes from their orbits. Show yourself. The silhouette condenses. Shapes, patterns. Galaxies folding into the outline of a single figure. A face forms out of stardust. Eyes made of swirling nebulae. A body mapped with constellations. A presence that stretches across the entire universe like living fabric. It is eternity, but not as Galactus remembers. This eternity is broken, fractured. Pieces of him flicker like dying stars. Entire sections of his form collapse and regrow in loops of impossible physics. Galactus speaks. What has happened to you? Eternity's reply shakes every atom for 1,000 light-years. I was attacked. Galactus steps back. The universe's embodiment. Attacked? By whom? For what purpose? Eternity struggles to remain coherent. Streams of galaxies flow from his wounds, dissolving into nothing. But then he forces himself forward, his face growing sharper for a single terrifying moment. The attack came from outside the timeline. Outside me. Galactus's pupils narrow. A truth dawns on him, one so devastating he had never dared consider it. Something outside the universe is crawling inward. Something strong enough to challenge eternity's existence. Galactus lowers his helmet slightly, a gesture not of fear, but respect. If eternity falls, the universe falls with him. Every star, every soul, every law of reality collapses. Galactus feels the hunger twist inside him again, not as craving but as warning. A message written in the marrow of his ancient being. The cosmos is at war with something beyond cosmic. And the first casualty is eternity himself. Eternity reaches out, his hand collapsing into stardust and reforming as he speaks one final message. Galactus, if I die, the universe chooses you to inherit my throne. Galactus freezes. The words hit him harder than any weapon ever could. Because becoming the new embodiment of reality means absorbing everything. It means ceasing to be Galactus. It means becoming the universe itself. The pressure of that truth nearly breaks him. But before he can answer, the darkness behind eternity splits open, and a being steps through. A being Galactus hoped he would never see again. The one rival who could challenge eternity for the fate of creation. The fight for the universe has begun. The tear in reality widens. Slow at first, then violently, like the universe itself is being peeled open. Even Galactus, forged in the death of a previous cosmos, feels the pressure shaking his armor. And through that impossible wound, a shape enters. A force born not from stars, nor from matter, nor from anything the universe can name. Galactus recognizes the presence instantly. He has felt it only once before, in the moment before his universe died. A being older than galaxies, older than cosmic law, older even than eternity. Oblivion, not the abstract one mortals read about, not the symbolic concept, but the true entity, the living shadow of the first nothing, the void that existed before the first spark of creation. Oblivion steps forward, its humanoid form barely holding shape, constantly bending, absorbing, and collapsing into itself. Where it walks, starlight shrinks away as though afraid to touch it. Eternity trembles. Galaxies inside his body dim. Entire star clusters flicker out. Galactus stands firm. He does not retreat. He does not bow. He only speaks one word. One truth that echoes from the deepest core of his being. Why? Oblivion raises its hollow eyes. Two endless pits. Two black stars collapsing inward. Its voice comes not as sound, but as memory. The memory of a time before time. Because existence has grown arrogant, gallon of TAA. Too vast, too loud. It is time to return the universe to silence. Eternity chokes out a cry. Not of pain, but of warning. Galactus, he seeks my seat. If he replaces me, creation unravels. Galactus feels the cosmic math unfolding terrifyingly fast. If eternity dies, oblivion will become the new embodiment of reality. The universe will not simply die, it will invert. Become a reverse existence. A cosmos of anti-meaning. A reality where nothing can live, because the very idea of life will be erased. Galactus slams his staff into the void. The power cosmic bursts outward, filling the darkness with blinding violet spirals. I will not allow this, he declares, his voice making the tear in reality ripple like water. Oblivion smiles, a terrifying, empty smile. You were born from death, and to death you shall return. In a flash, Oblivion's hand becomes a spear of absolute void and lunges at Galactus. Galactus counters with a blast of cosmic fire that could melt neutron stars. The collision is catastrophic. Space buckles. Time bends. Matter screams. Shock waves ripple across 100 galaxies. Solar systems disintegrate. Comets are shredded into cosmic dust. The force of their clash is so great that even eternity folds under the pressure, fragmented and flickering. Galactus holds his ground, but barely. Oblivion's void is eating away at his cosmic armor, dissolving his form. Pieces of him crumble into vapor before rebuilding themselves. He realizes the truth: he cannot kill oblivion. You cannot destroy the absence of all things. But he can slow it. And that might be enough. Eternity speaks, his voice cracking like thunder inside a dying star. Galactus, listen. I can open myself. I can expand. I can use what remains of my being to become a conduit. Galactus roars through the cosmic flames. For what? Eternity's eyes glow with the last strength of creation. For the universe to defend itself. Through you, Galactus freezes. The meaning strikes him harder than Oblivion's attack. If eternity opens his core, if he lets Galactus draw all of existence through him, Galactus will become something unimaginable. Something beyond Galactus, beyond gods, beyond cosmic abstracts. He would become the voice of the universe, the fist of reality itself. But the cost is staggering. For eternity to open, he must willingly destroy his own coherence. He would dissolve, scatter across creation, never fully return. He would be sacrificing himself. Oblivion senses eternity's intent. His face twists with fury. A soundless scream erupts from its being as it charges, darkening all existence behind it. Galactus knows he has only one choice, one impossible decision. He moves to shield eternity. He braces for Oblivion's strike, a blow capable of extinguishing a universe like a candle. The impact hits. Galactus is hurled across thousands of light-years in a single instant. Stars shatter around him. Black holes evaporate in the wake of his flight. He crashes through the crust of a dying neutron star, tearing it apart like paper. He forces himself up, molten stardust dripping from his armor. The void trembles. Oblivion is preparing another strike, one that will kill eternity outright. Galactus lets out a roar that shakes the quantum fabric of time. He unleashes a torrent of power cosmic so intense it becomes visible across entire sectors of space. He teleports, instantly, brutally. His fist slams into Oblivion's face, a strike fueled by the weight of the cosmos. The void ripples. Oblivion is staggered, not wounded but slowed. And that is enough. Eternity gasps, his body brightening, expanding, unfolding. Reality cracks open as he begins the transformation. A cosmic chrysalis forming around his shimmering silhouette. Galaxies spiral into his chest. Timelines fold inward. Life, death, fate, gravity, thought, all spiral into him. Eternity is offering everything to Galactus. Energy, time, existence. Oblivion roars in rage, ripping the stars apart as it rushes forward to stop him. Galactus turns, eyes burning like twin exploding quasars. The universe calls to him, begging him to fight, to become its champion, to become more than a devourer, to become what he was meant to be. For the first time in his immortal life, Galactus feels not hunger but purpose. He steps into eternity's expanding light. The cosmos ignites. Space twists. The laws of creation scream as they fuse into him. Galactus begins to transform. Oblivion realizes what is happening and unleashes its full power. The final battle for the soul of the universe is about to begin. The void trembles, not from impact, not from force, but from something far more terrifying: realization. Because for the first time in any age, Galactus understands this battle is no longer physical. It's not about strength, size, cosmic blasts, or devoured stars. This is about meaning. This is about purpose. This is about where one cosmic being ends, and where another begins. And suddenly, the Devourer of Worlds senses an uncomfortable truth. His power, colossal, ancient, unstoppable, might simply be the wrong weapon in the wrong war. As his cosmic shell reforms after eternity's universal compression, Galactus rises again, glowing like a wounded star. His wounds don't bleed. They leak power. Pure, shining, unstable power, cosmic, spilling into the void like a ruptured dam. But eternity's voice follows him. Not loud, not cruel, just certain. You fight for survival, Galactus. I do not. I am survival. Galactus answers with silence, and a flare of power so bright it ruptures nearby galaxies. He unleashes it all. Black holes collapse. Star clusters vaporize. Quantum strings unravel like snapped wires. The attack isn't a beam. It isn't a blast. It's a supernova tantrum unleashed by a god who refuses to bow. Then something impossible happens. The destructive wave passes through eternity like rain hitting an ocean. Not resisted. Not absorbed. Not countered. Simply beneath him. Eternity moves through the explosion as if strolling through sunlight. The edges of his form flicker with constellations shifting like gears in a cosmic clock. Nebulae whirl across his silhouette. Galaxies ignite and fade behind his eyes. Devourer, he says, your power ends where my existence begins. Galactus clenches his fists. Because he knows. He knows he was never meant to challenge eternity. He knows this battle defies the very structure of creation. He knows his place. And he knows he's fighting outside it. But he also knows something else. He was not created to lose. He became Galactus so he could survive everything, even the end of worlds, even the collapse of universes. If eternity wants to measure purpose, then Galactus will show him the purpose written into his bones since the dawn of the sixth cosmos. He spreads his arms. Reality shakes. A soundless shockwave pulses from him. Ancient, commanding, absolute. Galactus taps into the part of his power he rarely touches. The seed. The origin. The moment he fused with the cosmic egg at the death of his universe. He calls on the memory of a collapsing creation, the fire of a dying firmament, the despair of everything ending and transforming. Eternity pauses. Because this is not power cosmic. This is the echo of a previous reality. Galactus steps forward, glowing brighter, denser, heavier, like a star collapsing inward to become something unrecognizable. You speak of your purpose, eternity, he rumbles. But mine is older than your form, older than this universe, older than the laws you embody. For the first time, eternity's eyes widen, because Galactus isn't tapping into cosmic power. He is tapping into multiversal inertia, the force of a universe that refused to die cleanly, the energy of a creation that left behind a single survivor, the one who would become the cosmic predator. Galactus's body begins to shift. He grows not in size but in density of presence. His shape becomes harder to perceive, like looking at a star too bright for mortal eyes. He walks directly toward eternity, and eternity moves back, not from fear, from recognition. Galactus punches, and this time the blow connects, not with eternity's form, but with something deeper. The punch hits law. The punch hits structure. The punch hits the backbone of the universe. The shock is indescribable. Reality folds. Time blurs. Dimensions flicker. Cosmic membranes ripple like struck metal. Eternity feels it, not pain but disruption. Galactus is not attacking him. Galactus is attacking the idea of him. Do not misunderstand, Galactus growls. This is not victory. His eyes blaze like the birth of suns. This is me reminding you, I am not a mistake in your universe. He raises his fist again. I am the price of it. Eternity's vast expression changes. Not anger, not fear, respect, and sorrow. Galactus, Eternity says softly, you still do not understand the one truth that decides this battle. He lifts a single cosmic hand. Suddenly everything freezes. Galactus stops mid-swing. Stars halt mid-collapse. Nebulae lock in place like paintings pinned to a wall. Time is no longer moving. Only eternity is. And eternity places his hand gently over Galactus's chest. Not crushing. Not destroying. Not punishing. Just revealing. Inside Galactus, where the heart of a universal survivor should be, lies the violent glow of consumption. A hunger without ceiling. A need without limit. A wound disguised as power. Eternity whispers, "You were born to survive your universe. I was born to be this one." He leans close. Our purposes do not overlap. They simply collide. Galactus's voice strains. "You cannot erase me." "Erase?" Eternity smiles. "No, I cannot erase what stands outside my laws." He steps back. "But I can end the battle." With a simple gesture, Eternity removes Galactus from the battlefield, not by teleportation but by context. One moment Galactus is fighting within Eternity's cosmic body. The next, he stands at the edge of the universe, staring into nothing. The battle is over. Not because Galactus fled, not because Eternity won through force, but because Eternity finally proved the truth. Galactus can challenge him. Galactus can hurt him. Galactus can disrupt existence itself. But Galactus cannot win. Because to defeat Eternity, Galactus would need to defeat the universe. And Galactus, for all his power, still depends on one thing. A universe to feed on. A universe to stand in. A universe to exist. As Galactus stares at the glowing silhouette of Eternity across the cosmic gulf, he finally speaks. "So that is your answer." Eternity's voice rolls across creation like distant thunder. Yes, not dominance, not destruction, only truth. Galactus closes his hands into fists, and the cosmos goes silent. He has not been defeated, but he has been defined. And now, the universe must live with the fact that two of its greatest forces have collided, and neither will ever forget the other.